This video is for anyone taking a linear algebra course. I'm going to teach you some linear algebra in plain English today. All right, so the first thing we're going to do today is try and make sense of AX, multiplying a matrix A by a vector X and saying, what the heck is that? What are we even actually doing here? All right, so here's the key. This is a linear combination of the columns of A using the entries in X as weights. It might sound crazy, but let's break these things down. A linear combination, first of all, what is a linear combination of something? This is the first key. Well, let's do it with oranges and apples. That's easy to do. A linear combination just means you're adding up scaled copies of things. So 3 oranges plus 2 apples is a linear combination of oranges and apples. That's all we're doing. That's a linear combination of things. If you understand that, you understand most of what's going on here, okay? So now there's some notation here. Notation is super important in linear algebra. It's also super confusing. So it's fine to take your time with new notation and understanding new concepts like this. This is the hard part of linear algebra. It's not super hard computations a lot of the time, but just the notation itself takes some time, and give yourself that time to understand these concepts. If you're finding this content helpful, then please please subscribe, because I'm going to give you lessons like this and exam tips every single day. All right, so let's go down. I like to spell out the notation, each thing exactly, so that when you're reading the lesson, you're not so confused. They don't just give you a whole bunch of notation, expect you to know it all at once, like they do usually in a textbook. So I take the time to write out every single thing and explain it. I like to also use simple examples. Let's use a simple example. This is a matrix A, and this is a vector X, right? This is similar to that AX that we saw. A times X. That's A there and X there. Okay, so let's look through and see what this is actually doing. Remember we were saying the entries in X are the weights on the columns of A. So let's break down what the columns of A are. Here's a column, and here's a column. And then the weights are 4, 3, 7. That's 4, 3, 7. So we put a weight here of 4 on the first one, 3 on the second one, and 7 on the last one. If you don't know, I'm Sheldon. I have a master's in math from Waterloo. I used to grade exams in these courses, and now I show you how to ace them. By the way, I've got hundreds of exam style problems on my site. Link is in bio. You can check that out. They're organized by topic, by course, and by difficulty. Lots of other stuff there too. So after we write this linear combination, we just combine them and we end up with a vector. And that's the first example. In the other videos, we're going to go through more examples, and we're going to finish off this lesson on matrix multiplication AX equals B. Hope you enjoyed it.